How I only work 5 hours a week in my successful wholesale real estate business. Guys, this is Rick Ginn with Flip with Rick, and do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the absolute best free wholesaling information to help you elevate your wholesaling business. So let's talk about it. That's right. I only work 5 hours a week in my wholesaling business, but I want you to understand is it didn't start out that way, and it's been an evolution of constantly learning. You have to continue to learn and grow your business as things change in the world. Technology changes, systems change, government regulations change, and you got to keep on it. So I didn't start out working 5 hours a week. I'll be honest with you, I probably worked 50, maybe 55 hours a week when I left my corporate job. But I want to talk to you and give you vision for what wholesaling real estate can allow you to do with your life. Because I want you to understand the greatest gift that wholesaling gave me was time. Money is important and you need it to function in life. But honestly, if you don't have any time, life is difficult. So if you're seeking out this business so you can truly get freedom of your time, you're in the absolute right place. We know the financial benefits of wholesaling real estate. I don't have to sell you on that. You guys know it. But have you ever thought about if you had an incredible amount of time to do what you wanted to do? I'm telling you, wholesaling real estate will give you that gift, but you have to run it just like a business. So I'm going to walk through what my 5-hour work week looks like. And keep in mind, it didn't start out that way. What I want to emphasize to you is the vision of where you're going. And you can do this in a relatively short time. All the information out there, like the Flip with Rick YouTube videos, everything we offer, the live feeds, guys, utilize the information. I strongly believe wholesaling should be taught freely. Don't know why people make it like, so you got to pay me X amount of dollars and I'll teach. Guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And my goal is to get your first few deals under contract and get them done and show you the light and the vision of what you can do in this business. Because when that light bulb goes off, it's the greatest feeling I can get. And being able to connect with all you and share my story and share what we do in our business, because we do this business every day. So let's talk about the 5 hours. So I am going to walk through step by step how I prioritize those 5 hours. Now, it's never a perfect 5 hours. Sometimes it's 3 hours, sometimes it's 10 hours. But on average, it's going to be around like 5 hours. So my top priority in my work week, in my 5-hour work week, is marketing. Okay? Guys, without marketing, your entire engine dies in wholesaling real estate. Actually, any part of real estate. So even if you're a realtor, if you're a broker, if you're a flipper, if you're a landlord, there has to be some sort of marketing activity. So specifically in wholesaling, marketing, you have to be a marketing ninja. This is going to probably be what your top skill set. And if you haven't developed it, you're in the right place to learn it. So I'm going to focus on marketing. So when we talk about marketing, the first thing I want to do is specifically craft my list. So your list is nothing more than potential prospects. These are potential motivated sellers that you can get a deal with. So you have to spend time identifying lists. So I've talked about in multiple videos, you can either do high equity, you can do vacants, code violations, tax delinquencies. Guys, this is all public information. If somebody tries to charge you for this information, you're in the wrong place. So you guys know I love probate. It's one of my favorite types of deals to do. If you want to start with that, whatever it is, but get your lists, like get laser focused on them. So I like to master one list at a time. So if you try to take on 10 lists at the same time, you don't understand the data, you don't understand the filters, and it's complex. If you choose probates, if you choose high equity, however you want to attack it. But remember, if you have a really good list, you can send the worst marketing medium and you'll still get deals. I promise you this, if your list is wrong and it's bad, you could put $100 bills in the mail. You could offer the world and overpay for the property. You won't get any deals. So if you do not have a good list, your marketing is dead in the water, which means your business ceases to exist. So get really good at pulling lists. Whatever videos you can watch, we have a ton of them here at Flip with Rick, but you need to be a list master. You need to be a list ninja. This is it. If you don't have a good list, nothing works. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to master the list. And what I'd like you to do is try to pick one niche list and master it. Guys, once you master it, you can put it in your portfolio. You still have to stay educated on it, and then you can add another one to it. So this goes with anything you do in marketing. Don't try to do 10 things at once. Just try to accomplish one. I initially started out by finding niche lists, code violations. I started early with high equity. Not until later, almost 7 years, about 7 years later, I added probates. And my God, it just exploded my business. So if I started with probates in the beginning, I might not have done as well because I didn't know what I was doing, but now I do. So master your list. It's absolutely everything. So when I start marketing, of my 5 hours, I would take 2 hours and just dive into marketing. So I love, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to data. So I love to sort data and find out what's working. There's nothing better when I take a giant list and I turn it into 5 or 6 deals, and then I keep duplicating it and replicating it. And then I want to find a way to scale it. And we're going to talk about it more in this video. So 2 hours on marketing, single laser focus, one at a time. It will make a tremendous difference. If you do not master this part of your business, do not worry about the rest. It doesn't work. I'm telling you from experience. When I fell asleep at the wheel doing my marketing, that's when I had problems in my business. When I got back into marketing and I spent the time and the energy pulling the lists and I mastered each niche list, the sky's the limit when you do it. And it doesn't matter what market you're doing it. So guys, I don't care how many hours you're working a week. I would take a majority, if not 30, 40% of your time and focus on marketing. If that's the only thing you take from this video, please take that. So number one, marketing. The second one we're going to do, sales training. Well, Rick, I thought we're not in sales when we do it. We're technically not in the sales. We're in the business of connecting with people. And we have to connect with them on an emotional level. And we have to connect with them to solve a financial problem, typically with real estate. Remember, real estate actually has nothing to do with the physical asset. At the end of the day, you're solving people's problems. People sell houses. Why? Because they have life change events. They get divorced, people pass away, people get job changes, people upgrade, people downgrade. That's why we're always going to be in demand. And unfortunately, not everybody takes care of their house. They get behind in payments. They have struggles. Wholesalers will always fill a niche in this market. We will never go away. Did you guys hear me? We're never going to go away. The main thing is sales training in the beginning. What you need to do, you specifically watching this video, is you have to master your objections. So I have a video in here where I basically go over objections. Most objections boil down to 4 or 5 objections. Now, you can do 6 technically. So I've done between 4 and 6, but let's just say on average, there's 4 or 5 objections that come up in most wholesaling deals. If you practice this and you learn how to respond to it without hesitations, without ums, without staring at the ceiling, your confidence goes through the roof. And guys, the reality is in sales training, you are selling yourself. It's about confidence. You have to master this. Once you master your sales training, specifically mastering objections, your deals get exponentially more profitable. So I would take, of my time still to this day, I take 1 hour a week and I learn sales. Now, I don't go out and do the sales, but I'm in charge of training everybody on my team to make sure they're really good at sales. So I like to do a lot of role playing and I like to hear feedback from customers. I give them ideas to go back, maybe to repurpose on how to solve the objection and solve the issue. And so I have 18 years experience to do that. But I'm telling you, I fumbled in the beginning trying to master objections. So what I want you to do is master objections right here. So what you want to do is practice with your significant other, your spouse, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, whoever it is. Practice on them because it will make you better at this. And remember, this truly isn't you're not trying to sell a pen or anything like that. You are truly selling yourself. So when they come up with a common objection, and you'll hear it over and over, the minute you can look them back in the eye and confidently answer them, you can move on to the next objections. And once you solve their problems, they're much more willing to deal with you because they feel very confident with you. Mastering objections through sales training, 1 hour a week. That's where we're at. The third one might surprise you a little bit is, so I've got 2 hours marketing, 1 hour on sales training. And then I'm personally, every week, I send at least 1 hour on data. Now, before you fall asleep with this information, I got to tell you this. Data just tells you the truth. Data cannot spin you. It's going to actually hit you in the mouth sometimes and just tell you you're dead wrong, or it's going to tell you you're dead right. Your job is to look at data. Data is like a reporting system. So when you get data in, and when I mean data, I look into my Podio account. I see how many phone calls we took in for the week, how many appointments we made on the phone, how many we made in person, how many contracts were written, and how many deals funded and closed. And what I'll do is take that data and compare it to my lists. And then we look into geographic areas. Which is the hot zip code? Which one works? Hey, and then my acquisitions guys will say, market more in this area. Like these things sell really fast and it's really not that hard to get a deal there. And then we'll go in on all blitz. I love doing that stuff because most of us do like a bigger marketing net. But like once you throw the net out there and you get data, you can find out when the net really fills with fish. And you'll find these pockets that get really hot. It's really cool. The other thing on data, when you go into listrei.com, you can go in there and look and use some of the analytics in there, and you can identify trends. Neighborhoods that are switching over, meaning they were used to be like rundown neighborhoods, and now there's a CRA committee, that's a Community Redevelopment Act. And they're really getting hot and investors are going there buyer. You don't want to be the first guy to buy in there, but you don't want to be the last guy. And we've identified 3 in our local market that has made us a phenomenal return. And the only way I got that information was by studying data. So you take your list where you market and you track it. And guys, I do have lists that bomb. Sometimes they just don't work out. Sometimes neighborhoods switch over. Sometimes the affordability of a neighborhood gets so high, it doesn't make sense anymore. The only way you can sell some of these properties is like retail. So keep an eye on it. The other data you watch is trends in the market. You watch for inventory levels. So most of your MLS stuff you can get online. It's free information. If you have a realtor within the group, even better within your team. But all the information is public. Now it is dated. It's usually 3 to 6 months behind. So you have to pay attention as an investor because that's very old information. And so you want to track inventory. And I also want to track as much as possible rental rates. Are they going up? Or are they going down? Guys, data is just going to tell you the truth. And sometimes you're not going to like the answer to it. But you have to listen to what the market and the data is telling you so you can capitalize on opportunities. And if you have a marketing channel that's not working, you need to make some serious decisions if you want to move forward with it, pivot it, increase it, or decrease it. That's why I love data. The last hour I spend is basically what I kind of call coordination. So I run a team. So there's no difference even when it was just myself. In essence, you run a team if you think you do or you're not. So like I did this business all by myself. Too long, guys, way too long. So I was a bit of a control freak. At the time, my wife would help me with transaction coordination at the time. I had a VA that helped me coordinate all the data, helped me put my marketing together. And then I had other investors I worked with that in the beginning, when you actually could, we would sell and trade deals and we had a lot of fun doing it. What I'm trying to tell you is I had to learn how to delegate. And this is one of the biggest bottlenecks you will find in most wholesalers is they try to do everything themselves. I'm just telling you, if you think you're saving money doing it that way, you're actually choking and killing out your business. So one of my big deals I have to focus on is delegation. So I have to sit down, have meetings. We do at least weekly meetings in our company, but the key people, the acquisitions, obviously Zach stuff, we meet multiple times a day to discuss what's going on in the business. We talk about the good and the bad. So delegation is everything. I put an hour down for it, but I will tell you the hour we spend is very intense. It's very number oriented. It's about results. It doesn't mean I want to run people over, but I want to use my time efficiently. I don't want to have a 4-hour meeting. I just want to kind of get through it. transaction coordination is a big part of delegation. So we have to get updates on when files are ready to close, when they're being sold. And then I have to do cash flow reports to make sure we're able to fund the deals. Somebody's got to quarterback this. So if you're an individual and you're doing wholesaling, like Rick, you're talking a foreign language to me. Even if you're only a one-person army, you have a team. You just don't realize it. Your team is going to be your title company. Your team's going to be whoever helps you with dispositions. Maybe it's a realtor. Maybe you handle that on your own. Maybe your spouse helps you out with dispositions. You have to, who's ever going out, meet with the sellers. You got to make sure all the information that you're constantly following up in your CRM, if you use Podio, whatever it is. Guys, it never stops. And when you get really good at it, when you add on another team member, you don't add on another 5-10 hours of work. You're going to delegate it. Delegation has allowed me to do what I do. It allows me to sit behind this camera and talk to you and run a highly successful wholesale real estate business. And I started out just like you guys, like literally started out just like you. I want you to go from, if you're doing 40 or 50 hours a week, which there's no problem. I need you to hustle and grind in the beginning so you can get a few deals on your belt. And that's the purpose of the Flip with Rick channel, to get to this point so you can show your significant other, your family or whatever, you got to show them the money. If you can't show them the money, don't worry about selling the lifestyle or the amount of freedom of time. Once you show them the money and you get your systems dialed in, you can get down to a manageable work week, which means you've just focused directly on your time. And that's going to give the freedom to be able to spend more time with your kids, with your wife, with your husband, whoever it is. I don't care. Time, in my opinion, is so much more valuable than money. I can't buy time. Now, I can buy time through doing delegation, and that's the last one I'm teaching you. So even if you're solo and you're a one-man army, you have a team. I want you to clearly sit down and define your team, your title company, whoever coordinates transactions, whoever does dispos. It doesn't matter. The idea is I'm showing you what's possible. And this is possible in a much shorter time. Now, it took me probably 14, 15 years to get to where I am. Working with us here, I think you can cut that curve down to a couple of years. So if you start out at 40, 50 hours, maybe your goal is to cut it down to 20. And then the year after that, cut it down to 10. And the idea is you're growing your income and you're growing the time available to spend as whatever you do. You guys know me. I love the fish. I love to be in the outdoors, and wholesaling real estate is what allows me to do this. So that's it, guys. This is how I work 5 hours a week in my highly successful real estate business. And there's no reason you can't do exactly what I do. I taught my son how to do it at 17. There's no reason you can't do it. The only thing stopping you is yourself. So don't let money be a barrier to get you into wholesaling real estate. You have plenty of information. If you guys want to hear more videos just like that, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get plenty more videos like this, and tell me what you think about a 5-hour work week. Do you think you can actually do it? Because I do, and I know you can do it. So guys, this is Rick with Flip with Rick, and I'll see you in the next video.